Hey everybody, Chris here. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at price projections for Dogecoin. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And we were live on Saturday and we were looking at Dogecoin pulling back a bit after the early morning surge. Yes, big tick up of volume of trading of Dogecoin on Saturday, which I said I didn't think was a good idea. We were having so much fun, just low volume, like slow and steady rises. So pullback was kind of inevitable there after such a great run, 2-week run. I'll show all that on the charts as well. But where is Dogecoin going to go from here, and what's going to make Dogecoin go up? Let's get into it. Let me show you the charts and the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. We start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart, and Doge is at 28.5 cents as I'm recording this on Sunday morning. 28.5, we're on the lower range of the red box, which was what I predicted when I saw Doge had moved up to 30 cents on Saturday morning. I predicted a dip down into the 28s, and it certainly eventually did that. And we've been bouncing around there, kind of a double bottom here at 28.2, kind of interesting. From Saturday around noontime and then Saturday evening. So we'll see whether this is going to come back down and make it some sort of triple bottom, and would that be a good line of support there. So Bitcoin isn't helping. Bitcoin pulling back as well. So when Bitcoin pulls back, that does not help Dogecoin at all. I did pick up a little Bitcoin here on this dip. That was the same time where pump was running straight up and hitting a new all-time high. And I did swap my pump tokens for Bitcoin, part of my strategy of preparing for any bigger pullbacks that may happen come the end of the month. But my longer term strategy as well is to get out of those other altcoins, right, and roll that into Bitcoin or Doge. And I did that on Bitcoin. That was easy to do on Crypto.com because there's a direct trading pair of all alts directly to Bitcoin. So you only have to do one trade. And so if you're interested in Crypto.com and joining, I do have a link in the description below. I love Crypto.com for the huge number of tokens that are available there. Again, the price is a big spread, and you just have to understand that about Crypto.com, but you get into it. I mean, I made a lot of money on the pump token, booked my profit, didn't quite hit the top. Again, I'll be talking about that in the next live stream on Sunday evening. My Sunday evening live stream is going to start a little later than my normal live stream, so just be patient. I'll get to you guys. So that's what's happening with Bitcoin and Doge. In the red box, hoping to get out of the box. I did make the magnet a little smaller, and that was just for the purposes of this video so that it didn't overwhelm the overall structure of the Dogecoin move. Again, we've been watching since the 1st of September as Dogecoin has accelerated up with higher lows all the way up. But then we had this huge uptick of a volume here on Saturday morning, and Dogecoin's price accelerated up over 30 cents. So this pullback is not unexpected here. So that's the structure we have now. What are the projections going forward for Dogecoin from here? I do have this green line, which is my overall bigger move that I covered a couple weeks ago in my 2-year outlook for Dogecoin, Bitcoin, the whole crypto market, even Bitcoin dominance. I showed you everything I was thinking in that video, so check that out. Again, that's on my channel under videos, my 2-year outlook. So check that out. But for now, what's coming up? Well, Ash Crypto says, look, I'm bullish on Q4, and we've been talking about the fall 2025, where I'm bullish as well. We're looking at 3 Fed rate cuts. Yes, next week. On September 17th, first rate cut, and then in October, and then again in December, 3 rate cuts. The Fed is ending its quantitative tightening program. It's going to go to Treasury quantitative easing, which is bond buying. That's going to bring liquidity into the market. We also have about $300 billion in stablecoin liquidity just sitting there, another $7.4 trillion in money market funds. Usually those are rotating into stocks, but once crypto starts moving again, we're going to see this influx of new dollars into the crypto market. We've got the Clarity Act coming for U.S. Congress. Again, I think that's going to be more, again, about stablecoins and regulations. We've got over 90 crypto ETFs, ETPs are coming up for approval over the next 3 months. We also have ETH, ETF staking. The staking within an ETF is a big deal because investors want to earn yield. They don't want to just buy and hold, right? They're talking about let's get yield as well. And ETH does staking. That could be big as well. So Alva says, look, when you line up the Fed easing, QE, stablecoin surge, regulatory breakthroughs, ETH ETF staking, the risk on setup is undeniable. This combo doesn't just add liquidity, it drives real institutional flows and broadens market depth. So all of that is coming. If we've got Bitcoin running right to 120, 150, 170 or higher, the whole crypto market is going to go up too. That's what we're looking for. Fed rate cut next week. So I'll be over on Tom Crown's channel on Wednesday afternoon in the chat because Tom does a great job during those Fed meetings. So join in there, and then I will do my live stream once Tom is done, and I will cover the aftermath after what happens. We're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Monitors glowing bright green as markets pump ahead of next week's Fed rate cut. But be careful, because here's a little warning. History shows markets often dip one last time after the first cut. It's a classic sell the news move before launching into a potential year-end rally. So again, that we have seen that happen, and that's why I'm going to be covering the aftermath after the rate cut decision. But that's Wednesday, and Thursday is when we think this Rex Osprey Dogecoin ETF is going to launch. So maybe Dogecoin can withstand a market pullback still with anticipation of its ETF launch, possibly Thursday, and then maybe into Friday we might have a Doge pullback. So we will be watching that going forward. For Bitcoin, Bitcoin is in a range. It has been in a range. So here was the all-time high, just out of the range. Of course, 124.6. Of course, Chris bought at 125, right? All-time high, just for the fun of it. Yeah, this is what Bitcoin's been doing, right? It's bouncing around in the range, but it's looking like Bitcoin will be breaking out, and that's going to lead the market. Meanwhile, though, Dogecoin, right? Peter Brandt has described Dogecoin reclaiming 30 cents as a huge breakthrough. And we've been on this bullish streak that while Dogecoin has continued to surge and now is pairing some gains, which is okay. But Dogecoin is now on track to record its 5th consecutive day in the green. I think it's a little pullback right now, though, so I don't think we're going to get that. But the bullish streak since July, back then, Dogecoin reached a local peak of 28 cents. That was that previous run that it had. And then it pulled back about 34%, back to 18.8. But we've eclipsed that mark, and that's right where Doge is trading now, is the high that we had back in July, testing it as support before moving higher. So Dogecoin managed to eke out a green month in July, remained green in August, and now September, despite being a historically bearish month for crypto, again, I predicted a green month for Dogecoin, going against the trend, but it's been better than even I thought, as Dogecoin is now looking at its best month of 2025, currently around a 36% gain for the month, this is on track to be Dogecoin's best month since November 2024, when Doge went up by more than 161% just in that month alone. So, as reported, the very first US-based Dogecoin ETF is on track to debut in the US next week, which the Bloomberg analysts are saying is probably Thursday. The launch of the ETF is expected to be a powerful bullish catalyst that will finally allow Doge to gain a footing above the 30-cent level. I think we can move up before then. We'll be watching that next week. That said, it's worth noting the structure of the Rex Osprey ETF is different from traditional spot ETFs. So that's why I'm not giving this as big of a deal, but we are still excited about it. And then just as a reminder, for those that heard, SEC delayed making a decision on the Bitwise spot Dogecoin ETF proposal. That's the one that's now going to be November. That's just the Bitwise one, but that's following the regular schedule. So as they say here, that's a rather standard procedure. It's not any big deal, but there's still the big grayscale one that's October 18th. That's the final deadline for that one. So we've got Rex Osprey next week. We've got grayscale, October, Bitwise, November, and then we also have a 21 shares one that's like January. It'll be interesting to see if they all follow that same schedule. Dogecoin targets 60 cents next. Doge price gains 40% in a week. So that's been awesome for Doge. And what I want to get to here quickly is how Dogecoin is trading going forward and what are the signals here. So this chart right here, look at this red zone. This is the MVRV zone here, where according to their analysis, this is where Dogecoin is really hot and overbought. 2017, 2021. We did not get there in 2024 on the MVRV score, and here we are in 2025 with what we think is a big run going forward, and that is going to be that zone we're going to look at to start taking profits. It was not, for good for this cycle. That's what we're going to be looking at, is this zone here on the MVRV. Will Dogecoin trade up to it? Well, it did at the end of 2017. It did again in 2021. So here we go. We will be watching that. Trader Tardigrade said, look, we got the volume spiking up again. That was Saturday. I think the volume is back down now a bit. So this isn't quite the same on the volume as it's coming back down. So this was just that spike of Doge getting up to 30 cents. But could this begin a parabolic phase moving forward? Also, Ali. Yeah, Ali has a new Doge chart. Again, I mean, he's just sketching these lines. They really don't mean much, but he is saying he's targeting 45 cents here by mid-October with this kind of move for Doge, which isn't out of the question here. He just doesn't seem to have much analysis behind this move other than just drawing some lines on a chart. I mean, he's got this big black line here of whatever it is, like 40 cents, and he doesn't even recognize. So I don't know what this means, but okay, we'll go with it. And here's Trader Allen's latest are these projections. And the projections that he's saying from here, from right below 30 cents, is where Dogecoin can go coming forward through the end of 2025. And he's identifying two different fractals. The first one is going to be the recovery from April up into May. And the second one is going to be the drop in June up through the July run. And he's made two fractals there. He's copied the first one over in orange, which would suggest a move up to about 75 cents. And then he did the second one and he expanded it out up over $1 to like $1.80 or 90. I mean, it's kind of fun to do. I mean, why not just use the same percentage gain here and make it I don't know, but that's what he's showing. Projective future movement for Dogecoin. Kind of interesting to look at it. We'll talk about this more during our live stream on Sunday evening, so make sure that you're subscribed, you got your notifications on for all that. Leave a comment below. What do you think about how Dogecoin is trading right now and what you think about these projections? Are we going to get out of this green box? Give the video a like. And again, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.